Hey, Oakwood Small Groups. Hey, as you gather together today and we are looking at the Gospel of Mark, we're in chapter 10, 13 through 16. The story we're looking at tonight is about people bringing little children to Jesus. And I want you just to read over that and reflect on it. It becomes a simple passage in a sense that it's shorter. It's a great picture that's unfolded through words, and we're able to take a look at this part of Jesus's ministry. Two things I want to bring up, and they're words. One is the word rebuke. It says that the disciples rebuked those that were bringing little children to Jesus. Just want that in the mix, just so you know. It's a caution of, like, almost caution tape, right? Like, you can't come here, don't cross this line, don't be here. There's a scolding that kind of comes with it. What are you doing here? Why are you doing this? This is not where you should be. And almost a shaming, like, know your place, know where you're at. This shouldn't be what you're doing. We've got more, or the rabbi has more important things to do, and they're kind of almost bodyguards at this point, right? Bouncers, so to speak. I want you to understand that word rebuke. The other part here is indignant. And the reason I wanted to bring this up here is that out of the times that the story is told in the Gospels, this is the only place where the word indignant is used. The word indignant here has this sense of, there's a sense of anger with it. And there certainly is a sense of grief, like, oh, what are you doing? And what are you doing that there's just this, it's a visceral response, right? It's something that it's really, Jesus responded here. We almost get that same sense where he tips the tables in the temple when people are kind of being kept from worshiping because of their sacrifices, because they have to pay, and the price went up and the sacrifice became less worthy. So Jesus is here, and it's almost as if he's saying, what do you mean by holding them back? They're not in the way of ministry. They are ministry. And so there's that sense that comes with that. And I just want you to understand those two words, and you can talk about it if you choose in your part with the group. But in the story as a whole, the question I want you to grab here is this: who brought you to Jesus? Who brought you to Jesus in your life? Or maybe who brought you to Jesus in various stages or places in your life? I mean, many of you know my story, and I lived with my grandparents when I was in second grade. And, as I look back, I see that they brought me to Jesus when they took me to church on Sunday. They brought me to Jesus when they had prayer at the table. They brought me to Jesus when they read their Bible together at night before everyone kind of retired and went to bed. And we see those places where that takes place. But think about where those people and who those people were that brought you to Jesus, and maybe in your life, who you bring to Jesus. And that becomes important as we just reflect and think or talk about that. And also, maybe the things that we create that just become hoops to jump through to get to Jesus, and what we need to do to help bring them to Jesus and what that really means. Talk about that and enjoy that discussion, hopefully. Jesus has come to us to welcome us into his kingdom, and he invites us at the various stages in our life and the various places that we find ourselves. And it's just a good story to look at and reflect upon as we look at God's character and his purpose and his place that he has for us in this story. Have a good night.